Scotland, I missed you. Hi everyone, I'm Sandrine. Welcome to a new Outlander review. This week's episode was called Je suis prêt. Let's talk about it. First, some quick thoughts. Claire pretending to be like a prisoner or something to try and get the kid to reveal who sent him was pretty hilarious, actually. I really loved how she's like,
vile Scottish people.
And then you have Jamie who takes a moment, he's like, oh, we're doing that. Okay, got it. Just that moment I thought was really funny. Claire is becoming really good at like pretending. Last week she was pretending to be possessed or have the sight. This week she's pretending to be a prisoner. This is becoming a little too much of a habit for her. I don't know if that's a good thing. At the end of this interaction we also have Jamie telling the Grey kid, I gave you your life, I hope you use it well. With the kid responding, a Grey never forgets his obligation, which makes me think we'll probably see him again. And it also reminded me of a scene in Saving Private Ryan where one of the American characters lets a German soldier go free and doesn't kill him, which then comes back and bite him in the butt really badly. It's terrible. So as I'm watching this scene, I'm like, oh my God, this is Saving Private Ryan all over again, or he's gonna come back and he's gonna be really bad news. Maybe they should have kept him. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being negative here, but this is Outlander. So I just thought it was a little bit of foreshadowing right there. Now, whether it's gonna be a positive or negative one, I'm gonna bet it's a negative one. I gotta say, I was excited to be back in Scotland last week, but I think this week I really realized how much I missed it and that, you know, France was nice, but it's just, it doesn't feel like home. Like Scotland is home. I was like, oh, this is Outlander. This is what I loved in season 1. I'm so excited we're back. We also got lots of reunion. Well, first of all, we got Fergus, which granted he's from France, but I was like, Fergus! I'm so excited it took him with them still. And we also got Angus and Rupert, which I've been saying that I wanted to see them again because I missed them. And it was such a cute reunion. I was like, oh. I was like seeing old friends and then the hugs and they're excited and that was such a good moment. I was even excited to see Dougal. I mean, you know, Dougal is still Dougal, but I just feel like he's Outlander, you know? It's not Outlander without Dougal doing his thing. And speaking of Dougal, we got a really interesting scene between him and Claire where she just like goes into the 20th century and she's like, fuck yourself. Not sure you'll get that, but it's mean. It's like a mean comment that I'm telling you. But then the response we got from Dougal is I think what makes this world really interesting because it would be very easy to make Dougal this one-dimension character. And as much as he definitely puts himself always first, I think we did see that it's not that simple. There's a little more to it than that. Yes, of course, he's gonna do whatever benefits him, but he's also very, very, very passionate and really loves Scotland. And I really believed him when he said, yeah, I do put myself first, but I love Scotland more and I will die for it. And I was like, oh, this is such a good moment. It's such a good, you know, character scene with Claire. Yeah, excited that Dougal's back. Moving on to flashbacks. So we got a flashback of Claire during World War II. And it's interesting because technically this is a flashback from her life, but it actually takes place in the future from the time in which she is now, which is very confusing in a way. So, you know, those are the fun things of dealing with the time travel element of Outlander. Also, I don't think we've seen any of the effect the war had on Claire up until now, which I'm like, wow. You know, she did see a lot of things. That preparation for battle really, I think, kind of brought all of that back out. And even better, I love how it tied into the title of the second book of Outlander. And that's how Claire describes how she felt helpless in that ditch. She couldn't do anything and she refuses to be that person again this time. And now I want to talk about Jamie taking charge. I feel like this episode really showed how much growth Jamie has had this season compared to last season. I don't think we realized that happened in France, but now that he's back in Scotland, I think we're seeing a new Jamie, a Jamie that takes leadership, a Jamie that is leading people, that is not afraid to stand up for what he believes in. Because in season 1, he would have never stood up to Dougal, and he didn't really. He wanted, you could tell he wanted to, but he didn't. In this episode, Jamie's in charge, and he's not afraid of Dougal, and he's just like, these are my men, I'm in charge. You're really seeing them being as equal, and even Dougal is like, all right, I'll listen to what you say. And that's fantastic. I love that we get that, you know, evolution of Jamie. I don't want him to always kind of stay like this. It's nice to see that he's growing. You know, I think Claire is obviously having a really positive effect on him and him as a character in the way he thinks, because obviously he is with someone that has lived hundreds of years, you know, in the future and has experienced a lot of things that he hasn't experienced. And I think that opens him up to a lot of different ideas and things that he wouldn't have been exposed to if he hadn't been with her. And I love that. I think we see this the most here, because in France it was a different environment, but in Scotland you can compare the two. You can compare him in season 1 with the same people, and now him in season 2 with the same people, and he's completely changed for the better, of course, and I love it. Which leads us to, there is no going back. They have joined the Charles Edward Stuart camp. They have joined the rebellion, and there's really no going back for them because they need to win at this point, otherwise they'll all die or be put to death. So let's hope this time-changing thing is gonna work out for them, which it doesn't really look like it will from what we've seen in the beginning of the season, so I don't know. After watching this episode, I wanted to go back and watch just the first few minutes of the first episode from the season to make sure what it was that Claire really said to the guy that she met on the road when she came back to the present. Originally, I thought that she had said, you know, that it happened, that the Battle of Culloden happened. But what she really says is who won the battle, which, you know, now makes sense because obviously it's not, they weren't able to stop it. So at this point, she's like, who won the battle? Who won, you know? It's like, you know, the British one, the British one. I'm starting to put things a little bit together, and I'm thinking that Claire is back in the present. It might have been like right, obviously she doesn't know what happened in the battle, but it might have been right when the battle started or something close to that, because Jamie had told her like, you know, I want you to go back to the stones if something, you know, happens, or if things get a little crazy, go to the stones. So maybe it's around that time where he's like, I need you to be safe, so you need to go to the stones because I don't know if I can protect you or things are going bad. But she's still hoping that he survived or that they won, and unfortunately they didn't. So I'm still freaking out about this whole thing that she goes back to the present. I mean, this is crazy. While there's not much that happened in this episode in terms of craziness and action, I feel like we got so many great moments and so many great character developments that I really enjoyed the episode. And of course we got the reunion, which was amazing. I'm so excited that we got some of our beloved characters back. So those were all my thoughts for this episode, but of course I'd love to hear what you thought of this episode. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy seeing the evolution of Jamie? What about seeing a little of the effect the war had on Claire? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet so you don't miss any of my upcoming Outlander reviews. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye! Vile Scottish man, how dare you! I won't let you— oh, wait, what does she say?